It's finally time to put the last logs on the wall. There's only 4 left to go here, and then I'll finally be done building my house, and I just can't wait to be done and on to the next stage of the build here, friends. But these last 4 logs, they're gonna be really hard. We better get right at her. It is damn slippery to be setting this monster. Wish me luck. The entire roof here is going to be supported by this log. It's absolutely critical. I've been fussing with how I'm going to do this for many days. Get my rope set up here. It feels like I'm driving a team of horses here with my taglines. Here we go, old girl. From the outside, this is gonna look like a small joint, but from the inside, it's just absolutely unbreakable. I have to get these joints just perfect. Make sure I got as much bearing surface as possible. This ended up being at least 10 times harder than I thought it was gonna be. Now, one of the questions you guys were the most curious about is why I put the butt end of this log here and the tip instead of flipping one of these around and putting the butts on the same side. That is such a simple sounding question with such a complex answer. In order to get the most ideal, strongest notches and best finish, all my logs are in sequence. So you can see it's tip, tip, butt, butt, tip, tip, butt, butt. There's never just 2 butts, ever. You especially can't do that with the kind of logs I'm working with. Like, check this out here. This log here, I just notched into in the front, is 62 feet long. It goes from 24 inches, it travels 62 feet down, all the way until the end where it reaches 8 inches. There's 16 inches of taper. And this is posing real difficulty for me. I had to set this level, but I also had to make sure that I can notch over this log with my next one. There's a huge amount of wood left up on this beam. And that's because I know I'm going to be crossing it with another big butt. I can't just switch it and put a tip here. And that was the same instance I was in then. Here you can see these notches and these logs are progressively getting smaller the whole way. And this is all planned out based on the size of the log in these locations. And if you look at the other side, it's going from big, medium, and then small, because the tip is going to come here. I have to do that also while making sure that all of these logs finish off at very close to the same height. The height, the complexity, the size of the logs, all this has really been slowing me down. The big root thing, though, a lot of the time is the length. It's so long, it's so big, that like probably 0.1% of log homes are built with logs this long without any splicing, with all full length logs. And I'm definitely learning why here on my first build. But hey, there's 3 logs left and we're just about there, so let's keep giving her. Shit. It's time to put the first of 2 monsters on here. I'm finally getting the last long wall set on the wall, but they're so hard to set, as you'll see here shortly. I mean, God, they're even hard to move around. Look at this. I can barely get them in on this side anymore. That's why everything is so spaced far apart here. It's just the size of these logs and getting them to move around. Like, I basically need 60 feet here off every corner. There's no windows on my crane here, and that's just not working. If I leave this tarp off, it gets rained in there, rains in all my electrical. That's not any good. The tarp, it definitely helps, but then it's not totally sealed up for mice, and that is also no damn good. I just bought a very inexpensive sheet of plexiglass here. It's like 50 bucks. I didn't even buy the full sheet. And then I bought this $5 track here. I don't know, it's some sort of trim or H something. And I think this is gonna work perfect. If I can get windows on this crane for 50 bucks, I'll be just ecstatic. Beauty. This one is a slider and it's triangular with rounded corners. It's gonna take a little bit more thinking about. This is what we're looking for. So I think I can just bend this right into place. Nice. So you can see, I glued 2 together, and one is the slider, and then the other one just clips right in to the bottom here like this. Sweet. See, it just slides right in there just like that. Perfect. Well, friends, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've really been getting my ass handed to me here lately. The day I'm done with 62-foot logs is gonna be a good day. See, you know, like going from a 30-foot to a 62, you might be like, well, that's twice as long, twice as hard. With these logs, it's probably 10 times as hard, at least. You know, it's just so high that every single little thing has taken so long. It's been 2 weeks of working on these 2 logs already. I'm just now finally getting the scribers out to start tracing, which is awesome. I'm scribing both 62-foot logs all the way around on both sides. 248 continuous linear feet of scribing. Well, the hard part is finally over. I got all these logs traced. Now it's just time to work. That's the easy part. Right. Now I'm going to set the drone up. And filming too, like right now I'm going to put the drone up to get a shot of what I'm doing here. And I'm going to get the camera going at the same time. It's havoc. It's havoc. Pretty gloomy, rainy day, but I'm happy. The first plate log is going on right now. Yes, finally! It's so nice to finally get a win and get that done. I've been just fighting these plate logs for so long. Looks just amazing. So we'll pull the crane over and get the other one done. Really happy with this beauty so far. She's been just a beauty. I saw it just wasn't cutting good. All of a sudden it was kind of all over the place and cutting too wide. It was just sloppy, eh? But let me show you why. This bar, it still looks brand new because it's been well oiled, but it's done a huge part of the building of this house and it's become worn and loose. That's just so much better. It's a beautiful morning today, and we're gonna finish up here this last long log, which is just awesome. And then there's just one log remaining here on the back beam, and we're done. So let's get right at her and push through here. There ain't no room for failure. I got 3 cameras going. I'm running the ropes and the crane all at once. This is not a one-person job, but we'll see what happens. A couple small hang-ups. It's either perfect or it ain't worth a shit. Finally. Jeez. Crane needs a new alternator, so I said, oh, whatever, easy fix. I called up the parts, but they want $1,250 for a new one at the dealer, and that, Christ, God, that's a good portion of what I got into this crane. So I said, fuck that. I've just been charging it with my truck for the meantime. I gotta see if I can find one here. Better get the house done first. And leaving the signal light on sure ain't helping that, so I gotta fix that right quick. Yeah, beauty. Finally the last log, and I'm excited, I'm feeling good, and I think I got a pretty good plan for this. There's a huge tie beam that goes across the top here for the bottom of the truss. There's big structural concerns here, of course, but I'm probably at least 4 times overkill here with what I'm about to do. I will be glad to be done climbing this thing. I really like this log. It's got a lot of character. It's not nearly as easy to set as you might think. It's just same as anything. I'll give you the exactly short and sweet version of something very complicated. There's a lot of geometry happening with this truss that I have to line out. This log has a line on it that has to be perfectly level. First of all, so you can see I got that end blocked up. And then it also has to be the right distance this way and this way at each side. Not only that, but also this log has crosshairs on it that got to be perfectly plumb when I scribe this, or the truss is gonna be tilted. And what gets difficult, so right now I gotta move this in, but watch what happens when I move it. It also rotates. And then when I rotate it, the distance changes to my marks. And I gotta climb up this side and bump this, and then go to that side and bump that. And then it has to be traced exactly where it's intended to go. Like I can't trace this, cut it, and then move it over 1/4 of an inch. It's just not gonna fit very nice. It has to go back within preferably less than 1/8 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. So I really gotta get this done here right away, because what I wanna do here is have a little celebration, like a little barbecue out here. Once I get all the logs done, once I'm done up to the point of the roof, it's a huge accomplishment for me. And there's a small group of people I would like to invite, and in order for them to be able to come, I got to get it done here, like right now. I hope I can, because I'm really looking forward to it. Beauty. I'm just about done, but I ran out of daylight. I better get this done here tomorrow. Hopefully it all goes back together again. There's no issue, because I already planned the party, and it's not much of a I got done party if I don't get it done. So well, it's hard to even believe that the shell is done. It's been such a long time coming. It's not even fully hitting me here yet. It just feels totally surreal. And I know you guys are probably wondering what's coming up next in the next stages and where I go from here. And I'm going to get to that here just in a second. It feels surreal because here at the end and finishing this off has been so difficult. It's felt damn near impossible. To the extent that it's going to feel weird waking up and not thinking about this. So I'm really taking the time to reflect here, and we're going to have a little party here with my closest group. But now it's done, and honestly I think that this part here in this video has probably been the hardest part of the whole build. You know, I didn't really realize as a beginner builder, you know, when I first got into the project, how difficult I was making it on myself with this build. and with the length. I just cranked the difficulty all the way up. And honestly, over this last while, I know you guys know it's been quite a while since I've had a video out. It's been really hard for me. Like by anyone's definition, except my own. Like if you were to come out here and watch me, you would say it's been hell. Like it really has been hard. And I don't want to say that because it does sound negative, and I don't really want to, because in a way it's been really hard, but at the same time so great, because for a long time, you know, every day it's these logs, and there's a lot of hard days. I jumped in so far over my head, like I had absolutely no business taking on a project like this, like just zero. Like there's new challenges just day after day after day, and it felt like I would just learn something and then I would be on to the next thing. But you just keep showing up, and you just keep inching forward. And by the end of it, you learn something, and if you were to do it again, you would have done it much faster. But what I've learned is that nothing that comes easy is good, and when you learn the most and progress the most is in the times when things are the hardest, and that quite often in the times when you think you're making the least progress is when you're making the most, when you're learning. So I did make it really hard on myself. It costed me huge amounts of time here with the length. But in the end, what I realized is that through having to solve those really hard problems and really working at that extreme, that it's taught me so much about logs and everything I need to do better on the next time. Like I feel right now so confident going into another shell build. You know, a few design changes, a little better planning, give me some half decent logs and a little shorter plan, and I'm ripping. So even though it's been so hard, it's been so great at the same time. And that's what I've come to really realize in life. And I'm proud of myself for fighting through it. And another thing too is like I can sit in here and whine all day about how long it is. But that's negative. I don't want to do that in my video, because my God, when you look at this thing, it's a hell of a thing to look at. Like it's taken so long, but it gives such character. Like I've brought a couple of people out here, and when you're amongst these logs, like the long ones, and you see them stretching 62 feet out, and the size of them and the character and the twist, and they have aura to them. They're so powerful. It's so much larger in real life than I can ever show on camera, and it really makes it all worth it. I think all the hardship along the way when you really look at it. It's real easy to get caught up in all that needs done, and something I like to remember is that someone tells me is, you know, this quote I really like. It says, you're exactly where you used to dream of being. And that really hits home for me when I'm trying to sit here and reflect here like today. You know, I used to live way up in the bush in a little bush cabin I built, and you know, I was sitting up there dreaming, you know, reading those books and just imagining being where I am now. Sitting here looking at my completed log shell, like, yeah, it's surreal. It's been a long time coming. It's been just such a wonderful journey, slow process that you can literally see on this channel. And I've sure got a lot of support along the way from all my loyal friends of the channel who've watched me through every step along the way and keep pushing me to do these things. It's hard to even believe what this thing has become. I started this YouTube channel 6 years next month in October when I was still in high school. I could then hardly believe what it is now. Like there's so many people watching me. It's such this incredible thing. And it goes right back to that. You know, you could just hardly dream back in the day of where everything is now. That's a big thanks to all the support I've got from you guys along the way over a really long period of time. So I really gotta sit and appreciate that too, because I'm really just so damn grateful. Coming next on the build, it's a real priority to get a roof on it. I definitely gotta be digging ground in the spring and getting this thing set up again. The list is like this long, but well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for the wait here and the patience over this last stretch, and you know, I look forward to sharing the rest of the build here, and hopefully that'll be soon. I think the worst part of it is over here, so I think it should be smoother sailing, and we'll keep moving forward, keep filming everything. Now I'm going to take some time just here this evening and reflect and have some of my closest group come over, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So all the best, guys. I hope everyone's doing just great.